SEGA Bits presents SEGA Talk, a podcast talking all things SEGA! With your hosts, George and Barry.
Look, it's a giant talking egg. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the master here. So what?
Hello and welcome to SEGA Talk number 60. I'm your host, George, and with me is Barry.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
This is going to be our last SEGA Talk for the year, and it's kind of like, you know, a good number to end off because it's Sega's 60th anniversary, SEGA Talk 60, and it's the 10th anniversary of Sonic Colors, and so that's why we're going to be talking about this platformer. That, and it was a Patreon paid membership one. We're going to read his message right now, Daniel Andres.
Ah, yes. Let me bring it up. He was so excited and nervous that we were going to miss that I think... was it Daniel Andres or was it Tyler?
Was it Tyler? It could be Tyler, actually. You're right.
Yeah. So Tyler said, Sonic Colors is a really interesting point in my history with Sonic. Well, blasphemous to some. This was the first Sonic game I really enjoyed, but don't pull out your pitchforks just yet. Colors is also only the second Sonic game I had ever played up to its release, Sonic and the Secret Rings being the first. In the past couple of years, I've caught up and played all the Sonic games, but Colors still sits pretty high up there. It just feels so full of life. Colors is an odd subtitle, but I walk away feeling like it's incredibly appropriate. It's just bursting with cheer and vibrancy. I can't wait to hear what you two think.
Ooh. I was going to say, It's kind of weird that, like, he's not, like, a young fan either, so, like, this is his first, or one of his first Sonic games. I guess there's some people that just, it never really, you know, they never really wanted to buy a Sonic game, I guess, or maybe they just played more on other consoles, but that's interesting. So, let's get into the episode. Sonic Colors was an action platformer video game released in 2010, which was developed by Sonic Team on consoles and Dimps on handheld, which is the Nintendo DS. On this episode, we will be covering mostly the Sonic Team developed Wii version of the title, but we will talk a little bit of the DS version, not too much, but what is your history with Sonic Colors and your thoughts on it a decade later?
Well. Sonic Colors, I think I have a pretty strong history with it. It was the reason I picked up a Wii. I remember the game came out maybe midway through the Wii's lifespan, so you could get a Wii for pretty cheap, used. So that was what I did. I bought a used Wii, got Sonic Colors, and I really enjoyed it. Though I do remember when the title was announced, and it still kind of doesn't sit with me, it sounds like a children's educational title. Yeah. It sounds like he's going to teach you how to use colors. I mean, obviously, when you play the game, the title makes sense in terms of the mechanics, but remember, this is us coming off of some pretty edgy, hardcore Sonic games, like Unleashed. And so this was really, maybe like the second Sonic game to have like a little subtitle like that, where it's not like Sonic the Hedgehog and blah, 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 or Sonic and like a number. Yeah. So to go from Unleashed to Colors is just like going from like hardcore to like kindergarten, basically.
It is a weird change, and I feel like this is the time when Sonic Team was taking things that worked in some games and then moving them. Like, there was this big move to where after Sonic 06, people hated the grim, dark Sonic stories, and they kind of, like, even Sonic Unleashed, you said it was more hardcore than this, which is true, it is, but it still had like a Pixar vibe to it, and it was still like more cheery than Sonic 06, so I feel like they doubled down with Sonic Colors, and this is kind of like a kind of weird, but a soft reboot, like, it's because it feels totally different than what they were doing before, and we'll talk about some of the writers and things they changed, including the voice actors in the Americas, and there was a lot of weird negative, I think, feedback from, especially from Takashi. You know, when he does interviews, he always says something very extreme, and the fans react. and then the headlines are ridiculous. And he did that with Sonic Colors, which I love because I love the drama he does. But one thing I started noticing when it comes to development and behind-the-scenes stories from recent Sega games is that it's kind of crazy that there's more detailed accounts of development for games like Streets of Rage 2 or compared to like Binary Domain or Sonic Colors. So this is going to be a little more light on it. It's going to be more opinion-based and more about what was going on at the time. So we know Sonic Development started development as soon as 2008. Following Sonic Team, it was following the development of Sonic Unleashed, which is considered the father of boost gameplay for Sonic Team. Not because there was Sonic Rush, but that's 2D. I say during the 2008, the Sonic the Hedgehog brand was a totally different place than it is right now. I think we all agree. For example, Sonic Unleashed was created due to the fact that fans and critics had a huge backlash on Sonic 06 and its formula. Sonic Team noticed the Dimps game Sonic Rush and was getting praised. And so they tried to emulate the style in 3D with Sonic Unleashed. The fallout from Sonic 06 also had a big movement of Sonic Team taking Friends gameplay elements out of Sonic games, which resulted in Sonic Unleashed only having Sonic and the Werehog. Sonic Colors further doubled down on the no friends and promised Sonic Colors would only have Sonic as a playable character. This is a Takashi Iizuka interview from Game. Yes, there's a website or a game magazine called Game. Game. Hey guys, do you video game? Can we get video game as one? But now I skipped the. Okay, wait. The main difference is that in past Sonic titles, Sonic has always been a high-speed guy, and other action elements come from other characters. In Sonic Colors, Sonic is the lone playable character, and with Colors' powers, Sonic is able to do something different for the first time while keeping the high-speed characteristics in play. What is your opinion on the whole make Sonic games only Sonic, and do you think it's worked out over time?
I think it was a good decision to make following 06. That game had a number of playable characters. On paper, it looked like it would be a lot more exciting because they weren't like mechs, they weren't slow, they were all speedy, fun characters, and they had that Amigo system, which, again, on paper, you're like, oh, that's a cool way to bring in other characters, like they're just minor playable characters in one stage. But then, when you play it, it's just, there's something completely wrong and off. And so, I do think it was smart to focus on 3D Sonic again and really just try to get him right. So when you go from Unleashed, which granted is not completely Sonic because the Werehog is technically Sonic, but basically like a Ristar in 3D, which is not a bad thing actually. Like when you go back and play it, it's not terrible. It's playable. It's fun. It's just unexpected. And I think here they finally took what they were experimenting with in Unleashed and really almost perfected it because they made it so that the boost wasn't so insane. Like you were boosting, but you were still controlling and seeing what was coming up, and you had a little bit more, like control over the character. It wasn't just a set piece that you were blasting through, which I think Generations kind of brought back, but reined in again a little more. So you could see over time they were progressing to perfect the Sonic formula. And here I think they were like 90% there. Personally, I think Generations is like 100. And so that's why it was such a disappointment to me personally that you go into Forces and it's like 50%. It's like, what happened, guys? But it was smart. I do think it was a smart move.
I think it's interesting. It was a smart move at the time, and I think the whole consensus of Sonic fans that when we talked about this on forums and stuff, it was like some people are obviously angry, especially those people that have characters that they're like invested into. There's some people that really like Tails, really like Amy, and it was smart to not make them playable. This game actually kind of doubles down, and there's not really that many side characters even in the story. It's very like bread and butter characters. I think the idea was that like once you fix Sonic's gameplay, you could start extending out to other gameplay forms. And what we saw is them kind of doubling down on it because fans liked it enough, and they continue doing it with Generations by doing gimmicks where it's like it's actually Sonic Classic and it's 2D now, and Or the avatar isn't really an actual friend character, it's you, you know? It's like, okay.
Right.
While reading more about Sonic Team, what Sonic Team was doing and why they decided, for example, to make it a Wii exclusive, it seems that SEGA, as a publisher during this time, wanted to make Sonic a huge pillar of the company, which they always do, by releasing multiple titles, even like multiple titles in 1 year. It really felt, since SEGA went third party to like 2012-ish, that Sonic titles, they try to keep up with Sonic titles and kept on releasing them. And this is going to bite them in the butt when it comes to marketing this game. Just how SEGA took feedback about the Werehog and applied it to colors, they also took sales seriously. Sonic Unleashed had a brand new Hedgehog engine being created and was released on every console at the time: the Wii, the PS2, the 360, and PS3. While Colors had a more focused development by just being on the Wii and the DS, with each version being done by a different studio. I can't even talk today, dude. According to Takashi at the time, the move to go Wii only was due to the sales of the 2007 released Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Game crossover, which turned out to be one of the highest selling games in Sonic franchise history. While it might seem crazy, for a few years into the Wii's life, these mini-games were selling like hotcakes, and the idea of two iconic characters like Mario and Sonic doing a crossover was a huge deal. Do you remember all the hype around Mario and Sonic, and do you think making Sonic Colors a Wii exclusive, which it still is, was a great idea based on the mini-game title that was selling well?
I mean, I think the sales for Sonic Colors kind of speak for itself. It sold very well, and it was all based off of, you know, not just Mario and Sonic, but I think also they were tapping into Nintendo fans who grew up on Sonic on the GameCube. You know, listening to this episode or this podcast for the last 60 episodes, I'm sure you figured out by now that I am a OG Sonic fan, 1991. So it really amuses me when I encounter people who are like, "Oh, I love Sonic, man, director's cut," and I'm like, "Oh, you're one of those guys." Nothing wrong with that, but it's such an interesting branch of Sonic fandom where they came in as a Nintendo fan and then they started getting hit with all of these Sonic titles. And so this, I mean, I really feel like this sort of game is directly targeting them. It's very Mario-esque. It also aesthetically, I think, really goes in line with the Mario and Sonic titles, which, to be honest, kind of shaped how Sonic is today. Like, Unleashed had its own kind of aesthetic and feel with the renders and with the graphics, and whereas I feel like you look at Mario and Sonic Colors, and it's pretty close to what we're getting now with, like, Forces and Team Sonic Racing.
A lot of the characters that they created for this, like the Wisp and stuff, have stuck around. While like Dr. Pickle or whatever and Chip, we haven't seen them since Unleashed. So
right.
That's why I meant when this is like a soft reboot in a way.
For sure.
One of the first ideas that came out of the team designing Sonic Colors was the idea that the setting would be around a amusement park. The team thought that the amusement park is too small of a setting for a Sonic game. Thus, they changed it into a interplanetary park. Unsurprisingly, Sega used Disneyland as a visual inspiration. What are your thoughts on the whole Disneyland visual inspiration? And did it give you the Disney vibes? Because it just kind of gave me of like amusement park, but like scaled up to like a gajillion, right? Like they took themes, right? And then they like mixed it up.
For sure. I mean, they could have taken a little further and really nailed down the like Disney
like the branding
thing by having like costumed characters or something, like to have robots dressed as Eggman going around and like Eggman hats and stuff. But they didn't go that far. No. So it does, I think, in the layout, because there's like a central hub and then everything kind of shoots out from it. Mm-hmm. That's very similar to how the Magic Kingdom is laid out, where you have the castle, and then from the castle, it's almost like like a wheel in the center, and then you go out to the different parks, the different lands, which is all based, I think, on a French concept of a city center, where the capital is in the center, and then the whole city spreads out from there. So, it's very common for theme parks now. It's very common for zoos. So it's definitely something that Disney utilized, but it's not like something unique to Disney. But they do copy Disney in the lands aspect. It's just not hit you over the head. It's not like Sonic goes to Adventureland. It's more like Sonic goes to Foodland,
So,
or something like that.
So,
but it's cool. It's a cool concept.
A while back, when Yu Suzuki talked about, like, when we did the notes for it a long time ago, maybe the first episode, Yu Suzuki talked about how when he did Outrun, he would like cruise around Europe in a Ferrari so you could feel what it feels like, so they could develop the game, right? Do you think that the Sonic team did this so they could go to Disneyland for like months and be like, yeah, we got to go do notes, even though the game's already completed?
Right. Well, probably they went to South America just so they could like make a janky 3D game. Like nothing against Sonic Adventure, but you play those some of those levels and you're like, wow, did they really need to put the budget for a trip to South America?
Yeah, like at this point you can watch YouTube videos and get a feel for it. Like I mean, if you're making like a great game, like I know Pixar does this where they go to South America to get look at the animals, the atmosphere to capture it. But like sometimes I feel like Sonic Team says like it's based on this, and then they kind of do their own thing. So it's like, I mean, how much is it really based on Disneyland? Not that much. You didn't put mascots and stuff. Like it would have been
exactly.
It would have been sick fan service to have Eggman take the idea of other characters and making money off of them. Like he's selling Sonic hats. Who cares, man? I'm making money off of Sonic. But
right, that would have been funny.
Of course, Sonic Team couldn't just stay focused on the Boost Sonic gameplay. They wanted to add more to the game and make it its own. And they came out with Wisp, which bring either happy thoughts to some younger fans or a refusal of existence in other older fans. The idea behind Wisps is they're basically power-ups, right? And it didn't slow you down because the Werehog did slow you down, and the levels were really long. So the idea is that these will diversify you and let you reach areas and do things so you come back to levels, kind of like a Metroidvania style, where like, how do I get that ring or red ring? And then you come back later with the power when you unlock it, and then you'll be able to drill through it or something. Do you think the Wisps accomplished what Sonic Team wants? And what is your opinion on Sonic Team reusing Wisps? Wisps. Are you a hater or a lover?
Well, at the time, it was a really bizarre concept. Like, as I said, Sonic Colors on its own is a weird title. It's a amusement park in space is a weird concept. And then, like, these weird space aliens, But I guess looking at them, they also kind of evoke Chow. They evoke Nightopians, so it's not too far off. It's, even Choo Choo Rocket, like one of them looks like a Choo Choo Rocket. Yeah. So it did not seem too far off from something Sonic Team would do. I actually kind of like the idea of them, though, because as much as I love the elemental shields in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, there's nothing unique about them. I mean, fire, water, anyone can have that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have like a purple space alien with spikes on his head, like that's pretty unique. So I like the concept of it. I like that they are not just like a spring image, or a spike image. We've seen this. We talked about Sonic Chaos. That had power-ups too, but they were like rocket shoes. So I think it's smart, and I like that they made them unique enough that when you look at a Wisp, you know it's from Sonic. You're not just like, what is that, from Bubsy?
Yeah. I give that.
My only complaint is that later in the series, while they do appear in like Team Sonic Racing, which I thought was smart, like they didn't use them in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which I think they would have worked really well as one of the power-ups, but instead they used like a boxing glove.
Yeah.
You've created power-ups, and yet like Transformed could have easily picked up some of these, and it didn't. So that's my complaint, if anything, is that I don't think they utilized them as well moving forward.
And maybe that's another complaint we could like talk about. Like Sonic Team has the ability to reuse things they've made in the past and repurpose them. Like, they could have made chows there's these rare chows that have power-ups because...
Space chow.
Yeah.
Chows from space. That's something they have already established.
So that's what I'm saying. And then they kill off chows, right? And then they move on to something else, like... now they're just shields or whatever, like you said, right? And then it goes to chows, all right. And then you kill chows, and then you move on, and you're like, now we have to make wisps. So I'm like, how long do you think the wisps are going to last?
Right.
So
they could have done, like, these are space chow. They use elements of the universe. And Sonic's like, wow, space chow, like, that could have happened. Didn't, but
do you think
that would have been cool.
You think that they're going to kill the Wisp off? Like, it feels to me like they're slowly, like, I know that they were in forces and stuff, but, like, I think they're slowly going to phase them out and just come up with some other gameplay gimmick in the future. You think so, or
It's possible. We did have them in Forces and Lost World, but I don't think they were utilized as well, as I mentioned. I do like the concept, though, of making them go inside weapons, and they have Wispins. I think that's kind of cool, like a nice reinvention of them, and they've continued that in the IDW comics with Whisper, who has like a sniper rifle that utilizes different wisps. I think that's cool. So it's clear that they are still utilizing them. The question is, does Sonic Team themselves like them, and will the 2021 game have them? I guess we'll find out.
It's gonna be interesting. Talking about Tagashi, Izuka making bad comments. One of my favorite things about Sonic games coming out is watching Sonic fans freak out over dumb shit. Izuka says during interviews. One of the things that had Sonic fans riled up was his consistent media circus saying Sonic Colors was created to appeal to Mario fans. And
I remember that.
Here's his quote, and I don't think it's that bad going back. I remember people freaking out like it was the death of Sonic. Like, they would look at like screenshots and they're like, "Look, donuts. Oh my god, that's literally Mario or whatever, And it's like, no. Anyway, here's the quote. From a general game design perspective, in recent years, we've been able to introduce Sonic to new fans, a lot of Nintendo/Mario fans. And because of that, we've made changes to the design. And we've designed things in Sonic Colors that we think will really appeal to people who are unfamiliar with the Sonic brand and the Sonic gameplay. So from that perspective, we hope that fans of Mario will really be able to enjoy playing as Sonic in Sonic Colors. There is also the dreaded younger audience talk he did, and he also doubled down saying when he meant younger audience, he meant a broader market. I don't know, I guess. Looking back at the quote, saying it's aimed at Mario fans, it's rather tame. Do you remember the Sonic Fan Backlash pretending that this is the worst thing to happen to Sonic since ... Sonic 06?
I do remember the backlash, and I mean, I see where they're coming from, but you have to look at where Sonic was at this time. Like, sure, we had Heroes, which was, not the greatest game, but it sold incredibly well. It had a huge fan base. Lots of people played it. And then all of a sudden you start getting grim and dark with Shadow, with Sonic 06, even Unleashed. As much as I like that game, it is a very dark game. Maybe not as adult as the other ones, but it's just like, it's about time for Sonic to make a very good pick up and play, no long cutscenes, no big adventure fields, no like weird fetched quests for guys who talk like this. Remember that? So it's like cut all the trim all the fat, cut all the shit, and just make a game that's unapologetically a game. And that's what Mario has always been. Yeah. It's not like Mario, the latest Mario game, Mario Odyssey, came out and it was suddenly some massive cutscene heavy, grimdark, super plot heavy story. It's never been like that with Mario, and it's always worked. And it's not always been like that with Sonic either. You go back, and I think Sonic Colors is very much in line with the Genesis originals in terms of like the level of story you're getting. Sure, there isn't like an Angel Island crashing or something like that, but there's enough story there. There is some drama. It's not like they're treating Sonic like a Final Fantasy game, which they did in 06 and even in Unleashed towards the end. And I honestly wish they would go back to something like this. I think Generations did it really well, and I think Forces didn't.
No, they try to like bring back the dramatic elements and try to like recapture those fans that used to like I guess Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic 06, but those two games are totally different. Like I think people would accept it if you handle the little like grim dark moments. If you handle them perfectly, it's okay to have some edge on your characters. It's like The Mandalorian, for example, has some edge, but it isn't super edgy. You don't see The Mandalorian going like, I got bad feelings about I'm an emo character.
Yeah,
I hate life. It's like,
right.
it's handled correctly. You could handle it correctly, and they've done it sometimes. I think Shadow in the end of Sonic Adventure 2 did a pretty good job. I mean, I think that's the best they've gotten with their grim dark look. So let's talk about the announcement of this game. This game was announced via a blog post randomly. Here it is. Sega literally took down their blog, so you have to use an archive, which is kind of lame. Like, is it really killing your guys' thing to have an archive of your old workers and announcements? But anyway, it was posted in 2010 May 26th, 2010, via an elegant, massive post written by the amazing Kelly, who used to be in charge of the Sonic brand in the United States during the time. The post basically revealed the logo, the first screenshots of the Wisps, and the cool amusement poster featuring Eggman with the release date of holiday 2010. That means a few months after the initial reveal, which kind of came out of the blue for a lot of Sonic fans.
For sure.
Since this was announced on a blog post, we get to see over 312 comments made by Sonic fans over a decade ago, and their thoughts on this announcement. I'll read a couple of them. Dizzle said, you're working on Sonic 4 and this game? Why can't you focus on one Sonic game at a time and strive for it to be the best of the best of the best, instead of dividing your focus like you're doing now and passing off subpar games that are as finished? And then this is somebody else. Hi-Fi Hedgehog, a.k.a. Sonic the Hedgehog 360. Thank God he let us know. This came right out of the blue. I wonder what Sega has in mind for this sort of game. Personal opinion, this reminds me of the flicky gimmick in Sonic 3D Blast, but on steroids. Well, power-ups, execution will be make or break, so I'll hold judgment until I actually play the game. I've already been quite blown away by ASR, so I may be equally impressed with colors. Wow, somebody positive, right? Not complaining. Yeah. Oh, this is Christian. So, Christiansen. He said, not complaining or anything. I don't play Pokemon, but don't the Wisp look like Pokemon? All right, Sega. I just can't wait to see the demo gameplay. Wouldn't it be cool if they released this on Christmas? Go Sega, go Sega, go Sega. It's funny that they're that's the Sega 60th anniversary. It's Go Sega. But
yeah, right.
What are your thoughts on the title being announced out of the blue with no prior leaks? And what do you think about people saying that the Wisp look like Pokemon?
Well, I think the announcement coming out of the blue, it's probably something that the SEGA of America social team really lobbied for. They're like, we want the blog to get a big exclusive. I believe, was Aaron Weber working there at the time, correct? This wasn't during his hiatus. He was...
Well, I think it might be the hiatus, because I look at the blog post and it just says E.G. Rivera, who they are, and this is Mallory, Sarah, and Kelly, so no Aaron Weber.
Okay, interesting. I know, you know what, I think Aaron was doing a lot of Sonic 4 stuff at the time, but regardless, I think they probably lobbied hard to get a big reveal for the blog. It also, I mean, so that makes sense. I think, we're looking at 10 years ago on social media, so it's not like... I mean, Twitter, YouTube, those were things, but they were not like the place that you would do your big reveal. You wouldn't do a stream. You wouldn't do a Twitch stream. It was all about the blog.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at us. We, Sonic, or Sega Bits started in 2010. It was a blog. It still is a blog, but we do a lot more stuff now on YouTube, Twitter, social media. There's sometimes we do things and we're like, we don't even think of putting it on the site.
Yeah.
But back then it was very different, so that makes sense. But it's also, they did make some stupid decisions back then too, like when they were like, oh, Typing of the Dead's coming out, and they did a blog post, and they're like, and it's available right now. And it's like, oh, okay, there's your marketing,
Yeah. I'm surprised that game
Yeah.
even sold, even though like it was just released out of the blue, you know.
Right. I think though with this one it was smart because there were so many Sonic games at the time that instead of having like a year and a half to speculate, it was more just like, it's May, this is coming out holiday. And it worked out in the end. It's not like the game hit and was a big bust for them. But I do think these comments are very interesting. I think a lot of people couldn't wrap their heads around multiple teams. Like Sonic 4 was not made by Sonic Team. All-Stars Racing was not made by Sonic Team. And I think that's what they wanted to establish was... I mean, I know they wanted to do this. They wanted to have 2D Sonic games, so like Sonic 4... 3D Sonic games like Sonic Colors, and then the racing games. And that's kind of what they wanted to do for the future, and it didn't work out. It didn't happen, but this is the result of their attempt to have multiple Sonic games going on at the same time through multiple developers.
And talking about having so many Sonic games, before the release of Sonic Colors, Sega wanted to fix the Sonic brand by delisting substandard Sonic games, aka games with bad reviews, from sale. According to Sega's Jurgen Post, it was done to increase the value of the brand and would be more important in the future when Sega releases more Sonic games. Here's a quote of him explaining it. He said, "We could make a lot of money on bad catalog Sonic titles, but let's keep the number of Sonic games available under control. Otherwise, you can cannibalize. If there are 10 Sonic games on the shelves, with people seeing Sonic Rush DS or Sonic Rush Adventure, this may not help our overall strategy." What do you think about this at the time? And do you think it was like Sega just like changing strategies on the whim? Like it was like 3 years before this, they released like 5 games. It's like the Storybook games, the DS games, the Sonic 4, and then the mainline games, and then they're like literally 3 years after, they're like, oh, we screwed up, guys, but thanks for the money. We're going to have to take these off the shelf. Do you think... it's weird, right?
I mean, it makes sense, though. We're looking at this from people who pick up, like, the latest Sega game on release. And, like, think of the last time you went to the game section for new releases or recent releases looking for a Sega title. It doesn't happen because we're the types who... get these things on release. We get review codes. We buy our own copies, and the idea of going to a video game store and looking for the latest Sonic title is something I've never done because I know what the latest Sonic titles are. But imagine like someone who is not plugged into this, someone like your mom is buying for like a kid who said he watched Sonic Boom and now wants to play a game. I mean, she shows up to the store and what she's seeing is like 10 years worth of Sonic games or 5 years worth of Sonic games, and you know there might be some duds in there. There might be the Platinum Collection of Sonic Unleashed, but it's a kid who got into Sonic through Mario and Sonic, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just it was really a mess at the time in terms of just how many games were out there and the varying quality of them, so it makes sense. Though I don't like the idea of removing games because of review scores, just because there are some great games out there that get poor scores, and I don't think that's a reason to pull them. Not that I'm talking about Cyberpunk, but you know,
I think it got good review scores, but still, I have to agree with you. Like, there's like you screwed up, right? You got to take ownership, right? We shouldn't have released so many Sonic titles, right? There are a lot of duds,
right?
So I think it's good for them to do this for the brand. Does it fix the brand? No, because going forward, you're supposed to release good titles, and then they did Sonic Boom and stuff, and they made it even more confusing. So I understand they're trying to do good here. And you know what? They released a lot of good Sonic titles during this time, even though there was like they were going crazy. I mean, we got the All-Stars Racing, and we got Unleashed, I think is pretty good step, and then we got this one. So like, I think while they're pretending that this is the worst time ever, they were also releasing a lot of stuff. So
I also think Sonic 4 Episode 2 was pretty good. It's not a great game, but for what it is, it's not bad.
People just wanted it to be exactly like Sonic Mania, you know, the physics and stuff. I get it. You're using modern Sonic. It's weird, but I mean, at the time it wasn't weird, but now it is kind of weird. No. It's like looking back at it, it's like, why do you have green eyes, dude? Even though, let's talk about the story. We're moving on to the story.
Yes.
Incredible story. Guys, incredible story. Even though Sonic Colors sort of kind of lacks a big narrative, the game had 3 writers attached to the project. Sonic Colors was written by Ken Pontac. Is that how you say his name? Pontac? Pontac? Warren Graff and Yasushi Otaki. And this would be one of the first times an American media writer worked on the franchise, right?
Right.
Ken Pontac wrote a kids show called Todd's World, Lazy Town. Yes, Lazy Town. And Happy Tree Friends, and created a spin-off called Cow Pow. Warren Graff, on the other hand, was just working on Happy Tree Friends. And I think Sega found these writers when they worked with them on Happy Tree Friends False Alarm in 2008, a Xbox Live Arcade game that Sega published. And, like, they made a huge deal about it. I remember when they published it, they were, like, all in on Happy Tree Friends. Like, it was going to be I don't know if it's a big franchise. I don't know anything about it. I've never seen it. Even when the game came out, I never played it. On the other hand, Otaki, the Japanese one, worked at Sega for doing scenario writing, like for Phantasy Star Portable. He also worked on Mario at the Olympic Games and Resonance of Fate and Sonic Free Riders. And then this project. What are your... you know what's funny about Sonic Free Riders? It is technically the first one to have the voice actors, the new voice actors, and it's the first one to have... the new writers, I guess. Like
that's right.
So Sonic Free Riders is really what, like, all the changes they did for the US was done on Sonic Free Riders, but nobody's played that.
Yeah, because I reviewed that.
Yeah, but nobody's played it.
I reviewed it.
You did, but
yeah. So it was kind of fun because there were people going like, "Oh, what's it like? What are the voices like? What are the characters like?" And yeah, so going from Free Riders into this, I mean, it was a smooth transition, at least for me.
I should have said that Free Riders was the thing. I forgot about it. It's all right now.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on Sega finally hiring someone from the West to write a Sonic game, but getting people that really only worked on TV? Does a game like Sonic really need 3 writers, or does it just really need one Ian Flynn? Like, wouldn't that just do it?
I'll be honest, this is maybe an unpopular opinion with like a majority of Sonic fans, but I don't care. I don't care. Because like I'll see like, I don't know, we're talking about like some new Sonic game coming out and people go, "Gosh, I hope they fire Pontac and Graff. And I'm like, I have no opinion on this. I guess they don't like them. I don't know. I don't see why. Like, to me, like, if a bad joke is in the cutscene or something, or if the game doesn't get super deep into Sonic lore, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame the writers, and it's not something that really stresses me out. Like, I don't care. These aren't guys dictating, like, the overall story, really. That comes down to, the people laying out the levels and the general direction of the game, and then they task these writers with just stringing it together. It's not like Pontac and Graff are like, and then Sonic fights a boss that does this, and he's in a land that looks like chocolate. Like, that's not on them.
No.
I don't care. I don't.
That's my problem. Like, you can't make a narrative for a game where, like, you are there just as backup. Like we talked about the development of this game, they already had the idea that it was going to be interplanetary. They probably already had the idea that Sonic was the only playable character. They already had the idea they were going to shorten the cast to only the bread and butter. They also had the idea that it was going to be more kiddish. So when they brought these people in, they're like, all right, this is our vision as Sonic Team. You make the dialogue and make it work. That's literally what they were doing.
Right, and so I guess that's where I'm coming from. Is it's like if the writers have no control over all of those things, and you just don't like them because a joke didn't land in a cutscene, or you didn't like how Sonic and Tails like interacted verbally, like, it doesn't really bother me, to be quite honest. It doesn't.
It's okay. So to me, it's crazy because, like, I was looking at Sonic Unleashed cutscenes because we're going to be talking about the voice changes. And it's crazy to me how bad some of the dialogue in Sonic Unleashed was. I'm like, who wrote this? It's like it's probably just a translation from the Japanese version, but it's like, oh, dude, no, what? No, these lines don't work sometimes. There's parts that do work, and also they had no lip syncing either. So like sometimes, like in Sonic 06 especially, they would be like, "Hey, Sonic," and then they like their mouth wouldn't move. It's pretty funny. Now that we know that we have 3 big boy writers taking the helm, let's read the synopsis of the story via Sonic Retro. Like I said, I'm being a little cocky in the writing of my notes here, but they didn't really have control over this. So, Eggman claims to have developed a sense of remorse after his lack of judgment in the past and decides to build his next massive amusement park. Dr. Eggman's amazing interstellar amusement park in space, using the power of a small alien creatures known as Wisp to power the interplanetary monstrosity. While Sonic instantly suspects Eggman's evil intentions, Tails believes he's genuinely had a change of heart. So basically, what I'm going to say, like, do you think they wrote this whole and Sonic doesn't believe him, but Eggman believes him. Like these little plot points and stuff have been used in other media. They've been used in comics. They've been to me, when I read a lot of the stuff that was used here, we'll talk about like Cubot and Orbot. It feels like whoever the writers were, they kind of just went back. You know, it's funny because people hate the writers because they don't know anything about or the way they characterize Sonic, but it's weird that they took stuff from the past Sonic stuff, like the TV shows and stuff, like Cubot and Orbot. It's kind of like Scratcher and Grounder, and they kind of and they remixed it a little bit. And people are still mad, like they don't give them credit for little things like that. Like Cubot and Orbot have been a comedic duo in the franchises, handled by many writers, and I think they become pretty popular. I don't know. What do you think? Like,
I mean, yeah, I think they're cool characters. I'm
not saying they're the best characters.
No
I'm just saying, like, they did stuff where they went back and, like, grabbed aspects of Sonic stuff and they remixed it. I don't know. Like, I feel like they don't get credit for that. They just go, like, these people don't know how to write jokes.
Right, absolutely, because I think Cubot came about in this game. So,
I think one of them did,
that's... Yeah.
I think the other one was in Unleashed, I think, but like a minor thing. Yeah.
He wasn't called Orbot. Or maybe he was, but he was like a different color.
So let's move on to characters. Sonic Colors was also had a big change when its characters and its tone of characters. Sonic Colors is more vibrant and shiny, less with doom and gloom that Sonic Team usually injected in the franchise in Sonic Adventure 2. One big notable change, the English voice cast has been shaken up. All the 4 kids actors were replaced. Besides the legendary Eggman voice actor Mike Pollock, he's the only one that kept his job, which, let's be honest with you, it's going to be like 50 years. We're going to have Mike Pollock, the robot, voicing Eggman. And,
right.
Yeah, we're going to have kids going like, oh, you were there when Human Pollock did the voices? Yeah.
I will say a little behind the scenes thing. Mike did re-audition for his role.
Oh, he did. Wow,
that's what I heard. Yeah.
What a man! Like, I mean,
it was probably a lock, but I think any voice actor who's smart, working with different management or different, teams or something like that, they're not going to be like, they know me.
I think it's smart because it allows people to compete against him. And if there's somebody that brings something new to the table, you could change it on the whim. Obviously, they didn't find anything. So we'll talk about each character and specifically. But what is your opinion on the work by the 4 kids actors? I do remember for the longest time when I joined the Sega community on the forums and stuff during the mid 2000s. Everyone hated them. Everyone. I remember, oh my god, there were so many people, even though they liked the game, like even people that like Sonic 06 is like, yes, but they need to take away the 4 kids actors. So that was like always the thing.
Right. I was never a huge fan. I didn't like the idea that it was kind of tied into cartoon voices. Like there was a whole connection there. It didn't really feel like Sega hiring the best of the best, but more just like contractually having to use the same stable of people. I was not a huge fan of Sonic's voice, Shadow's voice. I was never one of those. I've never been a diehard fan of any of the voice actors. Like, you'll see people going, "Oh, they need to bring Jason back, though," and I'm like, that is never ever happening.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to happen. They're not going to do a big shakeup. So I don't know why you're standing for this guy who did Sonic, like 11 years ago. But again, just like the writers, like, I feel like Sonic Colors, there are aspects to it that fans are very passionate about when it comes to like writing and voice acting, and it's an area I know a lot about but care very little about. But I will say, I think Roger Craig Smith was the first one to really make my ears perk up and go, "Oh, this is a professional."
Yeah.
And I honestly think he elevated the rest of the cast. I think when you see him doing work, and maybe I'm skipping ahead here, but when you see him doing work with Mike Pollock, like doing the Sonic Boom stuff or doing the social media stuff where they're just like riffing on the fly, I think they really work well off of each other, and I think he elevates Mike's performance because Mike is working with someone who is just as, if not better, a voice actor. Like, I feel like they're trying to outdo each other, whereas I feel like with the 4Kids cast, it was kind of like Mike just going through the motions as he does with some of his other characters.
I think it's, I do appreciate that Jason is still within the community. He still talks to Sonic fans. He still does voices for fan work. I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of like love for, and like, I don't know, maybe he likes doing it. I mean, like, I have no idea what it's all about, but like, and I'm sure he misses doing Sonic. I mean, I'm sure it's a nostalgic time in his life. But I have to agree with you, Roger Craig Smith. At first, I was like, I don't know, man. Something about his voice doesn't work. But now that I've been listening to it more and comparing it to other actors, I have to agree with you. I think it's kind of hard to get away from him, especially with the Sonic Boom stuff and how much fun he was having during that. It was like everyone in the cast seemed to be like enjoying mocking these characters and doing these cool, like just doing the voices, And,
right,
like,
for sure. And I think
shoes.
Also Roger and especially Mike, they now kind of have the distinction of playing multiple versions of the character. I mean, you look at Boom, you look at the games, you look at technically Wreck-It Ralph, when Roger played Sonic in that's a different Sonic. That's like the Wreck-It Ralph universe Sonic. So it's just, they've been doing it for so long that it gives me whiplash when I watch the Sonic movie and I'm like, where's Roger? He's done it in everything else.
I thought that the movie did a decent job, doing his own. Like, I wouldn't say it's terrible. Like, I think another person what do you think about the guy that did the Saturday morning cartoons, the guy from Family Matters? Oh,
Jaleel White. I think he did a great job, but I think he was definitely like the voice of Americanized 90s Sonic. Like, when I hear that, he fits for that time period and for that type of the character, but I cannot see that voice coming out of another Sonic, and that's why it was so jarring when, remember, Nostalgia Critic did like a trailer for a Sonic movie, and it was like,
When the Eggman came, everyone got into big trouble.
And you're like, oh my god, this is cringy. This is so bad.
I mean, the Nostalgia Critic is cringy. I mean, that's his brand. His brand.
So Jaleel White voicing like a modern, realistic-looking Sonic did not work.
No.
Did not work. But let's dive into this. I'm looking forward to talking about this.
I was going to say, Roger Craig Smith is a handsome man. Not just a handsome man, but also a man of talent. The man's has been Batman. He's been the guy from Assassin's Creed 2. I don't know the guy's name. I forgot it. He's played Italian men. He's played buff men. He's played blue boys. Today we're going to be listening to Jason first. Jason Griffith. Is that how you say his name? His last name?
Mm-hmm.
This is him in Sonic Unleashed. Let's play his 11-second clip. Just a couple of lines I put together.
Thanks for that little skydiving adventure the other day. What are you doing out here? Is everyone here all right?
What do you think about his voice work?
It's fine. It's serviceable.
It's serviceable. I'm not getting hating him, but Sonic sounds a little bored. He could have like amped him up, Let me play some of our new guy, Roger Craig Smith, in Sonic Colors.
I don't remember you fighting off any insane robots. Good point. Either way, we can get out of this crazy place and go home. The middle? We are the party. I think we're their guests of honor.
He starts breakdancing in the clip. Anyway, what is your thoughts?
I mean, maybe it's the writing. I don't know. Maybe I am wrong about the writers, but I think in the positive sense, just I feel like they gave him a little more to work with because. But then again, Roger just gives a little more character to the voice. It's not just like, like going back to the Jason one. It's just like, is everyone all right? Are you okay? Good. And then with Roger, it's more conversational. He's like, boy, look at you. Wow. Blah, 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 blah. You know, like he's a little more cocky. He's got a little more character to the voice. And I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I do like Roger more than any of the other ones because he's the only one who's done an interview with us.
Oh, that would do it. That would do it.
That would do it. But I mean, he's been in the Yakuza Like a Dragon. He played one character.
He also was in Valkyria Chronicles.
You know, as we talked to him about, he voiced Vice when he cameoed in Valkyria Chronicles. And, you know, you were talking about Sonic Freeriders. I think Roger's first appearance was in that Sonic-themed hotel room. Remember that? That's what it was. Where you, at Alton Towers, you would get a Sonic room and you went in, and Sonic would be like, welcome to Alton Towers. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoa, check out the consoles. But the audio was messed up when they installed it in the room, and it was pitched down. And so people were freaking out going, oh my God, they gave Sonic a low voice because he goes, check out the consoles. Wow. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. But I was gonna say his voice is pretty unique. But he has
oh, for sure.
I like even the voice for the movie. I mean, I thought he did a good job. But like, I do agree with you that Roger got a lot better lines, and I think that has to do with the new writers. They came in. I think they were just doing the dialogue and just pitch, like you said, putting things together. And I know people hate it, but it's like. Please look at the script for Unleashed and look at the script for Colors, and please don't tell me that it's objectively better. Watching them like kid around with each other, like the other one, like when you watch Unleashed, you'd be like, "Hey Sonic, oh no, I'm scared. I'm Tails," you know, all the time, always scared. And this one, they have a banter back and forth. I kind of like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect. But it's
but that's what made Sonic Boom work so well, is because they really gave a lot of character to the characters, and they weren't just like templates for hero, villain, sidekick. It was more like they'd work off of each other and like I said again, be a little more conversational. I feel like I could sit down and talk for an hour with Roger Craig Smith playing Sonic, and it would be fun. you know?
Yeah. But we have to move on to Tails. Okay,
let's do it.
Tails. In this game is by Kate Higgins, who replaces Amy. How do you say your last name? Plant or Palant? And and even Kate was replaced in 2014 by Colleen.
Oh, here you go.
Oh God, Hennessy. I don't know, dude.
I like Colleen. Oh God, Colleen. Oh God. It's
oh God.
Shaughnessy.
Shaughnessy.
Yeah,
okay. Man,
let's listen to them.
Why do you gotta have a name like that, man? Why you gotta fuck me up like that? All right, this is Sonic 06. I couldn't find a lot of tales from Sonic Unleashed that was good dialogue because it was like him being scared, which is sad because he didn't have that much. I think Chip took his little like Sonic's buddy gimmick.
He kind of did. You're right.
So here we go from Sonic 06.
Sonic! I'm glad you're here. I heard that you tried to save their princess from Dr. Eggman. You're going to rescue her, aren't you? Let me help. I may not know what Eggman's up to, but it can't be a good thing.
How did that make you feel, dude?
Whatever.
Nothing? I mean, it's just like...
pretty boring.
I'm a snot-nosed kid. I don't know any
well,
better.
You know, as we've seen here, Tails has been voiced by women.
Always.
A lot. Almost always, the TV shows, the old TV shows, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, had a child do it who famously everyone thought died, and then I called like Hollywood while I was at work, and I sorted it out.
Oh no, everyone! He's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. But yeah, it's if you've watched cartoons for as long as I have, it's just like the stock female little boy voice where they
it's a woman who can talk like this, but add a little rasp to it. So it's like, hi, my name's Tails.
You know, like I can't do it. I'm not a woman, but it is something that
kind of reminds me of like
it is something.
When you see like these the older actors of The Simpsons do the voice randomly, that's how kind of you sound. Like, I'm trying to do Bart.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how all the kids on The Simpsons, like Nelson, like that's just your classic raspy woman voice. Or even what's her name from Curb Your Enthusiasm, who's always swearing. She's played a lot of characters too.
Oh, really?
On Nickelodeon shows.
She's my favorite character.
You know, the one who's
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Her, and the black guy. I mean, I don't remember his name, but the black guy that lives with him, hilarious actors, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. It's very stock female little boy voice actor voice. But I want to hear Kate.
Yeah,
Higgins.
let's listen to Kate Higgins, who we listened to the XX Tails voice actor. We're going to listen to the X Tails voice because she's not Tails anymore. But this.
With all the generators destroyed, we can blow this joint and head home. We did it, dude. True. Well, good job to you on inventing a translator that allowed us to speak to the aliens and figure out exactly what we needed to do so we weren't running around the park looking like idiots. Oh no, wait. That was me.
That's Tails in Sonic Colors. What do you... Like, the dialogue's a lot better.
It's fine.
He has, like, self-deprecating humor where he says, oh, we're not... You know what I mean? The little things like that add a lot more. Because Tails has always been kind of badly written. It's dialogue.
Yeah, I think that voice is easier on the ears, too. It's less whiny. It's more natural sounding. It's you know I try to do a lot of voices on this show. I can't replicate it, but it's the difference between going like, oh, Sonic, blah, 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 to, hey, Sonic, blah, 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 blah. Like, I could listen to that a lot more than some of the crazier, earlier Tails voices we had. But Colleen took over since then. And didn't Colleen do the Sonic movie Tails, too?
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I'm not 100% sure she reprised the role for that. But they have a new person after Boom, right, in 2014. Or am I wrong on that? Is she still doing it?
I think you're... No, Colleen did Boom and Colleen did the Sonic movie Tails. So I think, you know, this is for 2021 or 2022 when we start talking about it. But I think the big drama is going to be if they recast Tails in the second Sonic movie. Oof. I think that's going to be the drama. If they're like, oh, we're going to bring in the kid who plays Spider-Man, you know?
Oh, God, what... Dude, what is up with every movie studio having a boner for him, dude? It's like, well,
stop it.
Dude, he was like in this, like, he did a Netflix movie with this book that I read. That was weird. I was like, okay, I don't know. It's just he's everywhere. I mean, good for the guy, but I don't want him to voice any characters like, dude, the dude is in his 20s. He's not a kid. Like, what? Just like,
yeah,
I don't get it. Anyway, the next guy is the legendary. I mean, we even have to talk about Mike Pollock here at this point? He's the best.
Nope.
We know who he is. Let's go next. Cubot and Orbot. Okay. I guess this is the most original idea in the cast. They didn't have any other friends, so it's like it reminds me of Scratch and Grounder from the Adventures of Sonic and Sonic the Hedgehog. Orbot and Cubot were voiced by Kirk Thornton and Wally Wigart. Kirk is known because he did Shadow the Hedgehog's voice. So they're reusing him. Nothing really much to say. I think their comedic timing is good. I was going to put a clip here, but I don't think we need to. We're not comparing the voices. I just think they did a great job. I think their comedic timing is really good. I just didn't think that someone that voiced Sonic the Hedgehog could be so funny, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that was what took me by surprise. So, what do you think about the cast of characters, and do you think maybe they had some time, like, to grow the cast, like maybe add someone like Shadow, even if a comedic joke, you know?
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, I think it's a solid cast. It's a small cast. I think it actually, if anything, I think the one place where the game falters a bit in terms of like story and stuff is that the theme park itself felt very empty. You didn't see anyone there.
Yeah.
And I think it would have helped to have NPCs around to really fill the place out, and that's something you see in the DS version here, where they actually have Sonic's friends appearing as NPCs, like Big the cat and stuff. So it really felt like all of Sonic friends were going to this amusement park, and Sonic was not only stopping Eggman, but also saving his friends. And I think that would have been a plus, but then again, they would have had to find voice actors for every single Sonic character, which they just weren't prepared for at the time.
Oh, yeah, and it would have been sick to see, like... Because they were trying to make Eggman on this thing like a what do they call it? Machiavellian character, where he's like, I'm a good guy, guys. I'll give you everything you want. This is my thing. Have fun. It would have been sick watching Dumb Knuckles go like, oh, look, he gave me a place to put my Master Emerald. Like, I'm chill here. This is pretty sick. And like, just have everybody like brainwashed into it. And watching Sonic go like, what are you guys doing? And like falling for Eggman's trick. You know, that would have been. It would have been interesting. They could have added characters, but maybe for Sonic Colors, maybe for Sonic Colors 2. Let's talk about gameplay. Don't want to keep the episode super long, so we're just going to go through it. The game is basically 3D Sonic Boost with some restrictions. They restricted the gameplay, and I think it's probably for the best because for me, when I first played Unleashed, figuring out when to drift and when to not use boost and stuff was kind of hard. So they did these things where, like, when you do certain things, you can't boost, you know? So Sonic Boost is back, but now it's refilled with White Wisp instead of Ring Energy. Quick Step are now locked to areas, and so, like, grinding and stuff, it's locked. You can't just do it whenever you want. Drift sections are similar. They've been, you know, just dedicated sections to drift. Also, during these drift sections in Quick Step, you can't use drift, according to the notes. Some other little things about level design, such as games being bigger for users to explore, and some of them are like puzzles, which is kind of like like Mario coming back to the Mario thing. And interesting note that the levels are more vertically designed than horizontal. So what do you think about like the shorter experimental puzzle levels and stuff? Do you think that they could have cut those out and like just stick to the bread and butter exploration bits?
I'm glad you brought that up because before we recorded, I opened my my Wii game case and I showed you this and I was like, George, what do you think this is? Because even I was trying to like figure it out. I was like, these are not Game Genie codes.
Definitely not.
What these actually are is, at the time, I don't know if I figured it out or someone on maybe like the Sonic Stadium forums posted it, but these are the stages or the acts per area that play like platformers that aren't puzzles. And so for me, it was like I would play the puzzle, I'd be like, oh, that was amusing, and I'd never go back and play it again. I'm the same way with the missions in Sonic Generations. Like, I very rarely go up and start playing those again. And so here, I really loved the game, but I did not love playing this guessing game of, am I getting a platformer or am I getting a puzzle stage? So that's where I put this in there. So I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's me. So they were fine. I think I kind of prefer the way Generations did it, though, where they were treated more like secondary missions, so that you didn't have to hunt around and hope you were getting more of a platformer stage. But as you see, I'm going to open it again. Sorry for all the clicking. At the very least, you've got between typically 3 platforming stages per area, with only one of them having 2. So that was pretty good. Like, that's on par with Sonic the Hedgehog 1, if anything. Click.
I have to agree. I think that they did a decent job for it being the first time trying something new. I think there's nothing wrong with trying something new. I think you're right. You can't have it as the main narrative of a game. Like, there has to be a speed. Like, when they did the Werehog, it just, like, throws the balance off. Like, I feel the same way with Sonic Adventure 2 when you, like, have to play as Eggman and stuff. I think Sonic Adventure 1, like, makes Sonic its own thing. Right? And if you want to do this extra Mario stuff, make it extra. So, like, that's the best way to handle it, in my opinion. Nobody could complain. People could skip it if they don't want to do it. And, it's not forced on them in the story. But let's get into some of the Wisps.
Wisp.
We got the White Wisp that gives you boost meter juice. We got
Boost Juice.
And this is, like, the typical Wisp that people think about. Just the eye with the little, like, it looks like an octopus. And, they're from Japan.
Oh, I got them here.
There you go. Wow, I didn't know you had the plushie of them. Scion Wisps. turns Sonic into a laser, allowing him to ricochet off walls and go through diamond-shaped prisms. Then we got the Yellow Wisp, turns Sonic into a drill that could drill through certain surfaces, allowing him to access other paths. We got the Pink Wisps, gives Sonic a long pointy spikes that allows him to stick to walls. Also, those Wisps is the only means in which Sonic can spin dash in the Wii version of Sonic Colors. This is a Wii only Wisps. Green Wisps, I think I skipped the orange one, but turn Sonic into a balloon-like green orb that allows him to hover and perform the ring dash. Wii only too. The Blue turns into Sonic into a heavy block that crushes anything under it. It also creates platforms that turn blue rings into walkable platforms or vice versa. Wii only. Purple Wisps turn Sonic into a Wisp-like figure that moves forward, eating enemies and blocks, growing larger the more he consumes. And there was obviously the orange one that turns him into a rocket that makes him blast higher to reach higher areas. So some of these Wisps are power-ups that are kind of like the Purple Wisp that kind of looks like I think it looks like a cool design. That's like a power-up, like kind of like a star from Mario, but instead it has a little gimmick of you eating the bad guys. While some of them were like just blasting so you can reach other areas. Do you think this kind of like works, or do you think they should be more focused, or like is there a Wisp where you're like, this Wisp was stupid, they shouldn't have done this power and it's broken?
No, I thought the Wisps by and large were very good. I like the idea of them kind of replacing special skills that you would learn in like the Sonic Adventure games. So instead of always being able to do a certain skill, you would only be able to do it if you had the power-up, which is not a bad thing. And I think for the most part, too, they kind of replicate things you could have done as other characters. So like Knuckles Chaotix, there was a lot of like wall running and crazy things like that, and hovering and flying. So to have them now have Sonic be able to do things that his friends were able to do in the past, again, I think really works well. I think my only problem is there's so many Wisps that I was when I'm looking at the cover art here, I can't really remember what some of the actions are. You know what I mean? Like when I look at Flame, I know what I'm getting, but when I look at Rocket versus the Fire versus the Drill, like things like that, like they all look the same to me. So it's not very intuitive in that sense. But I think once you play it long enough, you're going to learn what they do, and it's not going to be a problem. So
you think that's maybe...
Yeah, no, I like them.
You think that maybe that's why they didn't add them into Sonic All-Stars Racing? Or maybe the other one? Because they're like, oh, if you get the purple one, what does that mean? Like, they could have just made it like he makes you into a ghost. You know, like the purple one looks like a, I don't know, weird haunted Wisp. I don't know. Yeah,
like Sonic dies when he touches it.
Yeah, or something. Like, I don't know. They have a look, but they probably would have changed the powers. But let's talk about some of the stages in this game. Let's do that. There's not that many stages in this game. It's more focused, like I said before. The first one is the one everybody knows, Tropical Resort. It looks like a Green Hill Zone type of lush forest level, but in an amusement park. The opening stage of Sonic Colors, the Green Paradise with lush vegetation, is the world's entryway to planetary theme park. This is from the website. And then we got the second level, Sweet Mountain, and this is probably the level that gave... I also put the picture of the DS versions of the game, so if you guys wanted to see, if you guys were watching the video. Sweet Mountain is one of the most, I think, hated. When I remember when the screenshots came out of this, they're like, this is literally a Mario game, look at it, because of this level. I don't know why this level set them off, but a world set high beyond the clouds feasts your eyes on the delicious world of Sweet Mountain, surrounded by lollipops and tasty treats. This is a world to remember. Then we have a Starlight Carnival, which is kind of like as close as you get to a casino stage, right?
Yeah.
With the array of colors set amongst the stars, Starlight Carnival features a parade of electric spaceships that Sonic must race through.
I love that one.
Yeah, so do I. Planet Wisp. I thought this was an interesting level because it kind of looks like really open, and I'm going to be honest with you, Sonic Colors is probably one of the nicest looking Wii games. Haters come at me but I think it looks great. I think people that were complaining about the graphics and art style, I mean, you guys can have your opinions, and I'm cool with that, but like I have to disagree on that. But this is the home of the Wisp, a huge variety of fauna and mysterious vegetation. Then we got the water level, Aquarium Park. Aquarium Park is an underwater playground surrounded by blue seas with many different hidden/secret path areas. There is always something new to find. In fact, every experience here is almost feel like a different one every time.
The music in that one, I think, is the best. I love the music. The music's so relaxing.
The music's always like Sonic Team. I mean, you can make bad Sonic games, but put the soundtrack on and tell me any of the soundtracks are bad. Come on.
Absolutely.
Then we got Asteroid Coaster. And like, if you look at the DS version, there's like very like, it looks like a like, what do they call those things? They had them in mine carts from Sonic 4. Yeah. The action-packed world set in the asteroid fields runs on roller coaster rails. That's all they told you about that level.
Awesome.
And then I don't know why I couldn't find this screenshot for this level and a bigger screenshot, and I don't know why I didn't put the notes, but it's the final one, the space one. What's it called?
Isn't it Terminal Velocity?
Terminal Velocity. I didn't have anything to do with it, but what do you think about this level? And it looks totally different on the DS version.
Yeah, no, it looks like the end of Sonic Adventure 2. Like, exactly.
Yeah, that's actually what it reminded me of, too. So it's funny because doesn't it even have the gravity gimmick? Or am I thinking of a different one? Okay.
It might, yeah.
And then the last one is the multiplayer. This is, I think, kind of underrated because I thought it was pretty interesting. But a multiplayer game playing inside a Eggman simulator where you actually had level designs taken from past games, such as Green Hill Zone, Spring Yard Zone, etc. This is another big stage and mode that I found underrated. What's your opinions on this mode? And there was one on the DS too.
I mean, I don't claim to be the person, but I was one of the first people to catch that because there were screenshots and there were videos of the multiplayer, and I was like, there's something about that opening. And then I was like, and this was, I think, on the Sonic Stadium forums, because this was 2010. Maybe I was posting on Sega Bits too, but I was like, guys, this is Green Hill. And then I started to think, is the next one Spring Yard? And I'm like, it is. And so I actually was I was taking screenshots, and then when the game would move a little more, I'd take another screenshot, and I stitched it together to prove it. Mm-hmm. And I was getting a lot of likes.
Oh yes, the likes. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, but that was my big message board claim to fame, was figuring that out. And I feel like this is the biggest ball that Sonic Team has dropped. I know people go, "Oh, bring back the Chow Garden, bring back this." This is such an awesome idea where Eggman is simulating Sonic in order to like test his traps and things. Like, I love that. And I don't know why this isn't like a spin-off game where it's like Eggman Sonic Simulator. Like, why not? That would be awesome.
Like, they're always looking for extra content for future games. Why don't they just like take design levels from the past, and remake them with boosts? Like, can you imagine where you're dropped into a Sonic 2 level, but it's kind of mixed, so it could work with boost? Like, they could do little things like, or they could just make it 2D and use the same physics from Mania, right? And just make a 3D Sonic game where you replay old levels. It's all there already, It's
Absolutely.
It's really smart. But the last one is the DS exclusive special stage, which is basically a half pipe, from Sonic 2 but it plays like Sonic Rush, where you have to use the stylus and touchscreen. You know how that goes.
It's fine.
It's serviceable. I mean, it works, but promotion. Sega really went all out with the Sonic the Hedgehog promotion for Sonic Colors. We will be talking about some of the events, but first, let's look at the TV commercials that aired. These were both 30 seconds. They did two. I'm assuming one was after it came out because it has ratings on it. So let's look at is this the US? Yeah, the first one. I'll play it now. It's kind of like the trailer.
Sonic's off on his most colorful adventure ever. Help him collect all the Wisps and power up.
I forgot how good the CG work was.
Oh, yeah.
New adventures. Pre-order now at GameStop to get a cool Sonic hat.
Dude, I have that.
This is where the hat became really popular.
The meme.
I forgot about that.
This is where the meme came from, where everybody's wearing them and stuff. And then we'll talk about the event. I mean, I don't think there's actual, like, pictures on the blog, but if you, I'll Google search it and then I'll show you guys on the.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching the video, here's a second commercial. This one probably aired after. I'm not sure how long, but it has like the reviews, obviously.
Sonic
Yeah.
Speed Test 47.
There's Fast. And then there's Sonic Fast. The high-speed hedgehog is back. Zooming across ceilings.
The
thrilling
emo
through
music.
floors. And rocketing
Yeah.
into the sky. Sonic Colors. Faster than a speeding you-know-what.
What?
Available now.
You know
Rated
what?
for everyone.
Faster than a speeding bullet? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't say bullet.
No, but
because of a kid's game.
Yeah, what do you think about? This is the first time you said that the Sonic movie abuses the speed, but look at how fast he is, dude. The bullet's still going through the apple, and he's reading the book.
That's true. Yeah, I said in the past that the Sonic movie treats Sonic like he's the Flash, where he can actually like operate at normal speed in like speedy time. But no, this was when also in marketing for I remember All Stars Racing did it. This did it, obviously, where they really pushed the Sonic costume, and I think that was playing off of what worked with Crash Bandicoot like 10 years earlier. So yeah, that was kind of their meme at the time. I completely forgot about that, where Sonic in the costume was in the commercials. And that commercial also reminds me of the Sonic Adventure 2 commercials, where it was like lab tests, but they were real hedgehogs. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to show you.
That's cool.
Let me send you this. Oh, I don't know how I can send it. Oh, man, I don't know. I wanted to send you this real quick, but I don't know how to. Let me see.
Is it a gift card?
No, it's gonna.
Oh.
People are gonna see our conversation, dude.
Oh
Let me
shit.
see. All the bad stuff you said. Right there, it's the giddy images of the event from New York. I just wanted to have them on there because we're gonna be talking about them after we talk about the Japanese. So the Japanese literally just copied the American one, so I don't even know if we need to see it. But I do want you to listen to them talking Japanese over it, so I'll play it now.
Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah. Sonic Colors Green! Spike!
Yeah. Colors. So they just called it Sonic Colors, right? It's like, okay. So, yeah, I like you're still laughing about the poor guy, dude. I mean, that's how they advertise in Japan. They just scream at you. So, Sega also put together a big budget in-person event, which was November 4th, 2010. They did a Sonic Colors themed ice skating event in Bryant Park in New York City. So I don't know, like, what's your opinion on these like in-person events? I know Sega was doing these in the 2000s. Like they did like a Playboy event for Bayonetta where they got all the journalists to come to the Playboy Mansion. They did this one. They also did one for Sonic Boom that you went to. And like I know it's cool for us as writers to go and like get our ass kissed by like Sega and give us wine and dine us and call us, you know, good names. But like, do you think it's like nobody remembers this stuff? Does the marketing work for this?
Well, I will say that I remember, because at the time I was living in Philadelphia, so I was always really annoyed that, of course, Sega being based in California, they would always do West Coast events. Very rarely did they do East Coast events. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're doing a Sonic Colors event in New York City. And for me, that's like 3 hours just taking a couple trains, which is totally doable. But the problem is, if you look at this blog post, it's October 26th and the event's November 4th. And as someone, you know, like who's working a day job, that's very difficult to suddenly go, all right, in 1 week I'm going to New York for the weekend. Like, they really should have given more time. And I also think they should have reached out to people like us and said, hey, we're holding an event and we would love for you guys to come. You know, like, you don't have to pay for anything, but just like give us a little more lead time and we would have gladly been there. But instead, I honestly, I think the event was probably a bit of a flop.
Yeah.
Just because no one talks about it. It sounds really fun though, like free ice skating and other stuff. Like,
and like being
cool.
I think the idea of being in an event for a game, you know, like this, it's like, it's a little historic. I mean, like, you can see the pictures here. One of the memes, obviously, this is Giddy Image. They did this. Is that like they all have the Sonic hat, the pre-order one? Like, I remember watching it. I'm like, it's like an army of Sonic fans, right? And it looks kind of small, to be honest with you, for New York, but I mean, just looking at an event like this, it kind of makes me jealous that we're living in 2020 where we can't do this anymore. But look how fun it would be to go out and at least hang out with people.
Oh, I'm there.
You know what I mean? They hang out with people from the sites and stuff. But this was more aimed at kids, so they could go out and the parents could be like, "Oh, I guess I'll buy them Sonic Colors this Christmas."
There's someone kissing.
Yeah, there's like in the beginning, there's these younger couple kissing. So if that bothers you,
boy, Sonic fans kiss during Sonic Colors.
Is that what it says? All right.
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, that could have been me and you, Barry, right there, but nope. Here we are.
Nope, can't do it.
Can't do it.
I don't want to give you the COVID.
Not anymore. I mean, remember when you could kiss people? What happened?
Oh, I remember kissing Sonic fans at Sonic events.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it had to keep you away, but it's cool. Yeah. It's cool. So, one thing you wanted to talk about, and I added it to the notes, is the toys, or at least first is the Sonic Colors UK release with a Wisp, two Wisps, the orange Wisp. And I forgot the other one, Scion, and they came in a box. This was exclusive to the UK, where I think they misspelled the name of the game. It has an extra letter on it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they love adding U to things like flavors, favorites, you know, all those sorts of things. It's just something they do.
You think they just don't know how to spell? I'm embarrassed to tell them at this point.
I don't know what to say. It's just something they do. But yeah, the figures. So at the time, Jazzwares were handling Sonic toys, and so they had these figures where it was like magnetic hands. But then they also had, and I think it might show here too, they had a Sonic action figure as well that I think was in the West. That was in like a Sonic Colors themed box, and that's like $150 on eBay now.
Oh shit.
So if you think Sonic if you think like Saturn games are expensive, just look at the prices of 5-year-old Sonic action figures. Did you have some other images to show, or should I go into the comic real quick?
No. We have the Sonic Colors. It looks like fake action figures featuring Amy, Tails, Sonic, Metal Sonic, it has Charmy B on it too, from Sonic Heroes. What's this?
This is a weird bootleg that I found. I don't know why it exists, but it just made me laugh.
Do you own it?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I wish I did.
Look how beautiful.
I would buy any. I have never bought a bootleg Sonic thing, but if I see it, I will.
I mean, when COVID opens up, I'm going to start going and looking for just bootleg stuff and just making videos on bootleg gear. Like, look at this bootleg merchandise. I think there's a market for it, dude.
Absolutely.
Then there's this other Sonic Colors with an U. This one has like I'm assuming it's the same figure, but it's just like outside. All right. And then we have this plush, I think.
Oh yeah. There's the plush thing.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the comics?
Yeah, I'll talk about this. I mean, I had this thing too. These were. I think someone on Sonic Stadium had a whole bunch of these little Wisps, so they sent one in the mail. But then, so what the Archie Sonic would do is that when there was a game coming, instead of adapting it into the ongoing story, they would just post, like at the end of an issue or in a special issue, a thing where it said, like, in another time, in another place, which is basically them saying in the game canon. And so they would do, like, the opening cutscene or the moments before the game started. And it would be, written by Ian Flynn, pencils by Tracy Yardley. So if you ever were like, oh, I wish Ian Flynn would do the games, like there's Ian Flynn doing the games. It's pretty interesting. But it's just got like some fun banter between the characters, a little bit of action, and then it would just end after like 4 pages, and it would say like it, play the game. And I always wished that this is what the comics were. And this is actually a collection of them. It's called Sonic Select. This is book 9, the games. So it's actually just like a collection of promo comics promoting all of the different games, and I think it's really cool. Like, I actually really like this, like Sonic Jump comic, Sonic 4, which is a prequel. Even there's something in here that I believe was originally digital, which is the Sonic and the Secret Rings comic. So it's the only time that that's been in print. It was like on a DVD or something. Sonic Rush Adventures in here. So, this is what IDW Sonic is now, where it's basically the games and then stories told between the games, which I love. So if you want to check this out, look for it. It might be super expensive now, though. But yeah, so Sonic Colors had a decent amount of merchandise, and then moving forward, it appeared a lot in racing games. It appeared a lot, and maybe we'll talk about this, but they never forgot about it. No. Planet Wisp especially, I think, became, despite the first stage being so iconic, I think as we moved on, Planet Wisp became the face of Sonic Colors. For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't mention any of the things because I'm already at the reception and legacy. I think Sonic has had more positive reception. I mean, I think Sonic Colors, the game, has had more positive reception over time. But the game was hated by a few individuals that we will get into in this post. But really, the game got a 78% Metacritic and a 8.4 user score. Sonic Colors went on to be highly successful for SEGA. According to SEGA's financial reports at the time, by the end of 2011, the game had sold over 2.2 million units on both the Wii and DS. Wow. Considering that the Wii and the DS were way lower budget to develop compared to the PS3 and 360, it probably meant more profit. It was kind of a weird time during the Wii time where it kind of felt like the gimmick of it selling 10 million units of like mini games was like dying out. Like Wii Fit was done, all the fad was done, and people were kind of like, it was the last bit of the hardcore gamers buying up some of the good games, So
absolutely,
I'm sure it would have sold more if it was in 2008. But while we don't have overall sales like overall, it felt like the game came out during. Oh yeah, I already said that. When the fresh controller idea fell down. Are you shocked that the game managed to move as many units on the Wii?
No, absolutely not. I think there's a huge base of Sonic fans already there, and I think Sega had just not tapped it until they released this game. So you had people like myself who didn't own a Wii picking up a Wii because they wanted to play this cool new looking Sonic game, and then you had people who had played the storybook titles and were already into it, people who grew up on the Dreamcast ports to the GameCube, and then there's just, was there really a big Mario game at this time, at this year?
It's always a Mario, isn't there? Always a Mario game?
But and so I just think it made sense that it sold so well because the install base was there and the fan base was there.
2010, right?
It was super smart. So I don't blame Sonic Team for later doing that deal with Nintendo for the Wii U. They thought it was going to be another Sonic Colors times 3, and it really wasn't, unfortunately.
So, in 2018, we had Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario Sports Mix, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, some DS game. So they were. It's funny how we always talk about how like Sonic needs to slow down with the games. They do multiple a year. Nintendo did 3 in 1 year. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I guess they do enough where they diversify. It's like once a sports game, once one with Donkey Kong, and then the other one is a mainline title. I mean, it's
right. But the thing is Mario Galaxy 2. That it looks like that came out in May.
Okay,
May and June. So that's out. This game's being announced. So that's really smart because then people are like enjoying Mario Galaxy, and then they're like, oh, this is coming in December. Awesome. I'll get that for sure.
So let's talk about a person that seems to love Sonic. His name is
Yes.
He's a British One of the biggest critics for Sonic Colors at the time was Destructoid's British Chad Alpha, Jim Sterling, who gave the game a 4.5, and this pretty much made Sonic fans pretty upset, I would say. I think a lot of his stuff was like, the controls aren't tight, this is more of Sonic Team ripping us off. He was really, really negative about it. It was actually kind of like hateful at a point, it felt like. Saying that it was terribly designed, it was just cute ideas. Aaron Weber, the social media manager, I guess at the time, took this and came up with a clever way to get free marketing out of the big hate review that Jim Sterling did. He gave him a spiteful, I guess I would say it's a positive gift because his poster is probably worth a lot of money, but he gave him a huge marketing poster of Sonic Colors. And according to Jim Sterling, who claims to be 6'2", yeah, right, he says he could barely lick Sonic's little furry balls in this poster. If you're watching the video of it, he literally shows you a picture of it in the backyard, and it's covering his whole backyard. It's like a Sonic Color like cloth poster. And
that's funny.
I'm going to start talking shit about Sonic games. I'll be like, this is the worst Sonic game ever. I don't care, even if it's the best.
Yeah, I want free stuff, too.
Give me free stuff. I mean, it makes us mad as fans not to have a huge poster like this of Sonic Colors. But you got to admit that this whole story and drama really did take off on Twitter. And it probably helped sell copies of Sonic. Because I think, I don't want to be mean, but like in social media, people like fighting. They like picking a side. And when you pick a side, you get like invested into it. So now you hate Jim Sterling and you love Sonic Colors. So you're going to go out and buy day one to spite him, you know?
Right.
It works. I think it's funny that
it works.
He did a bunch of, let me see it. Okay, here we go. He did a bunch of pictures of it in his little backyard. I don't know how big his backyard is. It looks like a small California backyard. But how...
Well, he's British.
Yeah. He lives in America, though.
Yeah.
He lives in America. But yeah. What do you think about the Sonic Colors? Do you want one of these so you could put in your... I don't know. What where you put this? It doesn't.
I don't have room for it. I don't have room for it.
No, I mean, you fold it up and put it away. It's how much you think Sonic collectors would pay for something like this?
Probably $500.
Perfect. And I think that's all I think I had on my notes. Do you want to read?
Okay.
Do you have any of the... Do you want me to read the ending from people?
I could read them. I'll read the comments.
Go for it.
So if you guys support us on Patreon at any level, you get to leave your memories at the end of the show. So without further ado, let's throw it over to those guys. First off, like I said, Tyler Olu. This is his episode, so thank you so much for your support. Thanks for picking this. Lucky you, it's the Christmas episode. It's the 60th episode. Very cool. Now we have Daniel Andres, who's always got something to say. Holy smokes, I cannot believe that you guys are covering Sonic Colors for both your 60th episode and Christmas episode, pretty much. I love, love, love this game to death. I haven't touched it again in a very long time, for nearly 10 years now. Ever since I got it for Christmas 10 years ago. I was in love with this game. I got it either Christmas Eve night or Christmas Eve morning and played it all night long with no sleep. After one of the two, I'm not sure, I just remember, wow, he's got a lot to say, that I beat this game in a matter of just 2 days after I got this. It was just so amazing. During the time, all the positivity this game was getting from almost anyone or anything, I was so happy to be revisiting Sonic Colors this Christmas season. And for me personally, I just bought the DS version. I remember trying it out on one of my cousin's DS's 10 years ago and thought that it was pretty awesome back then. I was so psyched and hyped after I got all 180 red star rings. Oh boy, remember those? Sometime in, I want to say around mid-2011. And I got to play as Super Sonic for the first time. I recorded it back then in an old shitty quality camera and posted it to YouTube. It was just so damn awesome getting a playable Super Sonic for the main stages for the first time in a 3D Sonic game. It was incredible for the at that time. Again, how many people loved this game and praised it. I was so happy back then about it, and genuinely good and amazing to be a Sonic fan at that time. Especially with Generations coming out only a year later. It breaks my heart a bit that a lot of people have actually grown to hate this game. I may not be the biggest fan of the story or of Roger as Sonic, even though I do really like him for other roles, but I still really love Sonic Colors, from its gorgeous visuals, to its beautiful music, to its good, great, awesome, outstanding, and amazing gameplay, and I will never truly be sick of this game. I will always resonate Sonic Colors and Christmas time together, and for a while, for me, try to make it a Christmas tradition to play this game at least every December. Happy 60 years to Sega. Happy 60th episodes to the Sega Talk podcast. Merry Christmas to everyone, and of course, happy 10 years to Sonic Colors. Oof, oof, oof. And then we've got Nicholas Schaefer. He says, I love this game. I bought a Wii primarily for Sonic, and that purchase was only validated when this game came out. It's beautifully brought back some classic staples like power-ups, Badniks, which we didn't talk about. Yeah, Badniks are back, and playable Supersonic and stages. Planet Wisp was gorgeous, and truthfully, I would be happy if this was the standard game going forward. A few of the latter levels could use more polish, but overall, a great game. And can we take a moment to appreciate Mike Pollock's voice work for the background intercom?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We always appreciate his work. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Happy 60th anniversary to Sega. The last episode of 2020. See you guys next year. Merry Christmas. We love you. Happy 10 years of Sonic Colors. We appreciate the love. Check us out on Patreon. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.